Have you ever wanted to learn how to pop out of board slides? Or to board slide really long rails? I've been doing board slides for a very long time, but I just figured out a secret to help make board slides easier and make it easier to pop out of the board slide in the middle of the rail. So first, you need to know how to board slide. So before you can board slide, you need to know how to ollie and how to frontside 180. Okay, so to board slide, you're going to approach the rail at a slight angle. As you pop your ollie, you're going to turn your shoulders like you're doing a frontside 180, so you can lift your front trucks over the rail and land in the middle of the board on the rail. As you're sliding the rail, you're going to keep your shoulders parallel with the rail until you get to the end. Then you're going to turn your shoulders, fall off the rail, and roll away. The problem with doing board slides down long rails is you can't lock in like a Smith or a Feeble. You're kind of wobbly, but I found a way to lock into board slides. To do this, when you ollie onto the rail, you're going to rotate a little more than 90 so that your wheels actually touch the rail. This is going to allow you to lock into the rail. It sounds crazy. It feels like a hurricane, but it allows you to lock in, and it's so stable. I can slide really long rails this way. I definitely would not try this on a really thin rail or a round rail because you're just going to get your wheels stuck and you're going to stop immediately. This has to be done on a thicker rail, something that's thicker than the gap between your board and your wheels. It's not easy at first. You need to be comfortable doing a normal board slide before you attempt this. This is my second favorite rail ever. It's about 20 feet long and it's a down rail so you can get momentum. It's really good for learning to do long board slides. My favorite rail was at the Kentucky DIY Park. You can see that if you search Michael Relevant Kentucky DIY, or you can search Andy Sharrock Kentucky DIY and see the Revive guys skating it. It was a really great rail, down from one parking lot to another over a grass gap. And it was exactly like this rail. It was just down a grass gap, so it looked a lot cooler. Okay, so here's the second key to long board slides. Using one rail. It sounds crazy, but when you use two rails on your board, it's really slick. And when you don't have any rails on your board, the board tends to rock back and forth. So if you put pressure on the front of the board, you'll stop. And if you put pressure on the back, you'll slip out. But if you have one rail on the board, you can slide smooth and you can slide fast without rocking back and forth and changing momentum. So when you lean forward, you don't stop. You keep sliding. If you need to slow down, you can use that trick that I taught you earlier, twisting the board and dragging your wheels against the rail to slow down. Another great thing about twisting the board is it makes it easier to pop out of board slides because you have that momentum. So when you start twisting to pop out of the board slide, you've got more force applied to the board and it pops out so much easier. If you practice these steps, it's going to be so easy to do long board slides. You could make that rail twice as long, and I could slide the whole thing every time and pop out at any point in the board slide because of these key steps. Put an obstacle in the middle of the rail and force yourself to pop out right before you get to that obstacle. Another thing that really helps with board slides is speed. Go faster, wax the rail. Don't be afraid to go fast and commit to the board slides because it's much easier to slide a long board slide when you're moving fast than when you're barely moving down the rail. It's just because you don't have to balance as long. Another thing you could do is just do things to improve your balance. Do some slacklining or just practice walking on the rail. Get comfortable with the rail. Study the rail. Every skate park rail or handrail is different. You really need to take time to look at it and understand it. Roll up to it a few times. Put the board on the rail with your hands and kind of act out the motions, because then you have a better idea of what the board's actually going to do on the rail. So I wanted to put this out there because I've never seen these tips in a how to board slide video. I really hope it helps somebody out. If this video helped you out at all, please let me know by liking the video. If there's another how-to video you want to see, let me know in the comments section below. And definitely subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.